Hello everyone, and welcome to another video. And today I want to talk with you about finishing what you started, about this idea of finishing what you started. And this is something that my mom used to always tell me growing up. And if I go back and try to remember when was the first time she told me that, I think it was high school, I didn't want to finish high school, or not didn't want to finish, but I really had some hard time in high school sometimes, with the studies or other stuff. And she always told me, if you started high school, finish it. And later on in my service, I talked about my service. She said, if you started it, finish it. And I talked about it in one of my videos, about the fact that it also helps me, in hard times in my service. I always remember that if I started it, I'm here by will and I have to finish it. And later on, now I'm in my bachelor, or actually I graduated last week. Congratulations. But also here in my last 4 years of my bachelor, I had some hard times, but always her voice in my head was repeating that, saying, finish what you started. And along the way, I saw a lot of people quitting, whether if it's in high school, whether if it's in my service, or whether if it's now in my bachelor. But I think there is a certain value to finishing one thing that you started. And let's dive into it for a second. I always thought that if you quit once, if I quit once, I'm going to quit every time it gets hard, And by you not quitting, you learn resilience, you learn how to push through pain, how to push through uncertainty, how to push through emotions that are not necessarily helping you. But those situations and those feelings and those emotions and those moments are occurring often in life, and once you learn to push through them, I think it teaches you a lot about your character and develop your character, and also teaches you that sometimes you just need to push through, whether if it's hard in school, whether if it's hard with your studies, whether if it's physically hard, you're doing something that is physically hard. Sometimes you just have to push through. Finishing what you started. This is one of the rules I live by almost, And on the other hand, if I look on quitting, you start something but you quit, what do you gain from it? You don't gain anything. You don't gain experience. You quit. You let your mind win. And overall, I think it's just negative thing to do, I think almost everything that you start is worth finishing, and the idea and the quality of resilience and pushing through, I think it's priceless. In a world where quitting is so easy, being the one who pushes through, it's very rare and it's very valuable, when time gets hard. It gets hard emotionally, it gets hard physically, Learning to push through, learning to finish what you started. Also, once you finish what you started, people will see it as valuable, People will admire you for that, or not admire, but like respect you for that, Oh, he actually started and he said he's gonna finish and he finished it. Didn't matter how long it took, and it didn't matter how hard it was, And same goes to like diet, or like it doesn't have to be like only like a social circle or whatever, like school or like that kind of stuff. It can be anything you do, Let's say a diet. If you actually say, I'm gonna start a diet tomorrow and I'm not gonna stop until I'm losing 10 kilos, then how much of self-appreciation, I'm not talking about others' appreciation to you, but talking about how much self-appreciation will you have to yourself for doing that, And each time it doesn't get easier, but you definitely count on yourself more that you're gonna finish what you started, And it gives you more confidence in yourself, and it gives you more willpower, motivation, if you will, But ask yourself, when was the last time that I started something and I finished it? It can be anything, big or small, But when was the last time you started something and you finished it? When was the last time you started a study, you started work on something, or a diet, or learning something new, reading a book, whatever? When was the last time you actually finished one of those things and reached the desired goal, And if your answer is often, or like lately, then you're in a good spot, and it's good for you. But I think a lot of us are not in that spot. And one thing I can think of that can help you do that is maybe start from the small things, You don't have to sign up to a new study and say you're going to finish it in order to prove it to yourself. You can start by reading a book. Maybe you don't like reading that much. Maybe it's inconvenient. Maybe it's boring, but you know that it's going to do good for you. So that's a good challenge, Fight those emotions. Fight the boringness, fight the challenge, fight the laziness, and push through them, Once you finish the book, you're going to be so happy that you did it. And then by doing it again and again and again, you're going to learn a lot of things about yourself, but you're also going to learn to push through, Learn to finish what you started. It's so valuable, especially in today's world, in my opinion. And if my mom wouldn't implement it in me at a young age, I don't know where would I've been today, Because every challenge that I had in my life and every obstacle and every phase where I felt like it is hard and I want to quit, whether it's in my bachelor, in my service, in my studies, whatever, in diet, whatever, I always have her voice in my head telling me, finish what you started. Because you're anyway at it, you're anyway going at it, time will go by anyway. You might as well finish what you started. And there is value to it, in my opinion. So my tip for me to you today would be to just start, start from reading a book, start from doing something small, and then grow big, little by little, like a diet can be a good one to go and to do, or some sports goal, or like in the big frame, if you think about it, like a study or like a job or whatever new you're starting, just tell yourself, okay, I started it, I'm gonna do this for 1 year, this job for 1 year, whatever, or the studies, I'm gonna finish the studies, because quitting is easy. You don't want to be the quitter. Finish what you started and don't be a quitter. And that's it. That's what I wanted to talk about with you today. It's been a while since I made a video, but I had some tight schedule in the last 2 weeks. It's not an excuse, I know, but we are back on the horse. So I'll see you guys in the next video. And if you're not subscribed yet, please do. Thank you.